Yes, hello. My name is Bob Daniels at Earls Gallery. My account number is 3003.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Let's Talk Career series. Just to let you know, if you're not familiar with the series, the purpose of it is to help people who are thinking about changing their careers or enter a new career by learning firsthand about specific occupations. So today our guest is Andrea Jackman. Thank you, Andrea, for agreeing to be a part of this interview series. We're really happy to have you here and learn about your occupation and what you do. So I guess we can just get started, and maybe I'll just ask you the question, what do you do for a living?
So currently for the last almost 11 years now, I've worked at Earls Gallery. I wear many hats, but probably the most formal title is curator. What that entails is creating exhibitions, kind of like what you see behind me here. I do anywhere between 8 to 12 exhibitions a year, and they change every 4 to 5 weeks in the main gallery here. They can run from group shows to dual shows to solo shows, and I also liaison with a lot of my gallery artists. So the gallery itself has about 20 artists that we work with on an ongoing basis. So right now, that's actually what we're featuring as our gallery artists, as we have suspended our exhibitions until we'll start up again in October. So, I mean, beyond being a curator here, which involves a lot of research, I also do a lot of the marketing, social media. I'm also in the frame shop. We have a frame shop here where we build everything by hand. That's archival. So I'm a little bit everywhere.
That's awesome. How long would did you, what was your process, I guess, to get to the position you're at? Did you go to school for it? Did you just have a passion? Like, tell me more about how you got into this.
So I would say it probably started with an obsession of paper and pens and all art material. From then, it kind of led into going to art school. So I did an undergraduate at the University of Waterloo in studio arts, which was combined with business as well, partly to get my parents on board for me going to art school. It worked, and I learned a lot that I use every day.
Yeah.
And then after that, I did a master's in art history at Western University, which I specialized in museum studies, looking at new media and interactive computer-based art. From there, that was just education. There's all these other things that kind of happened throughout those things. One, probably during my time in my undergrad, I worked with Recreate Outreach Art Studio. That's in Hamilton. I was one of their first student employees, program directors, if you want to call it. I worked with Glenhurst Art Gallery as one of their summer camp art counselors. I volunteered at the Art Gallery Hamilton. I had a student-run gallery that I led at the University of Waterloo. So I mean, it's education is important, but also all the other things you do with your time and volunteer and interests also play a hand in how I kind of got to where I was. I know I'm very fortunate to have the job I aim to have. I was only about a month out of my master's program when I came to Earls Court. Now, this job was never really this job. It was kind of very new and in its infancy, and over the years I've developed it into being what it is. And I think for a lot of art careers that tends to be where it happens. Some of it is starting it from the ground up and be able to build something a little more and more on top of it.
What would you say is the thing you like the most about your job?
I'm touching all the art, because in most museums I can't. But I mean, it's working with different artists, living, especially, you get to create these wonderful connections. I have the opportunity to pull artists from all across the country, or even just across Ontario, and put them in exhibitions together in which you would have never thought they would go together, but they are like-minded, or the juxtaposition between the two create this wonderful narrative. I get to help people explore why they like or do not like art. I mean, I've had kids come in here and go, "Mommy, someone forgot to clean up their mess," when they're looking at a piece of abstract art. So, I mean, there's a lot of joy and laughter in discovering. I think there's a lot of soul searching that's created. And I mean, we do also do historical art. We have a gallery that exhibits just that. And so, I mean, that offers the opportunity to touch things that haven't been seen in 40 or 50 years because they've been in private residence or museums that have either been deaccessioned, or people have just decided to let them go. So, I mean, there's been great pieces that have come through our doors that I get to spend a little bit of time with and photograph and see and share with others. And then they kind of go back into their new homes.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, Earl's Court Gallery is on Ottawa Street. It's a real hidden gem. I've personally gone and had a tour with Andrea. She's amazing, very knowledgeable, and it's quite the place to go and visit. So if you haven't been there, you should definitely go and have a tour. Give her a call and see if you can go in and see the art.
Impromptu tours, you wander in and it will turn into a tour.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
You're open to it. It kind of happens, and I'm happy to give my knowledge to others and share it and encourage the passion of art. I mean, you don't have to be artistically inclined to appreciate art or have a connection with it. And I'm here to open the language lines between the visual piece of art and you and your experiences and how you might connect with them as well.
I think there might be a fear to face that. You see this art piece and it's, maybe priced really high and it's beautiful, and you feel this disconnect because, like you're not able to create it. I don't know. It's just this feeling. Yeah. So you kind of welcome the connection between the two.
Absolutely. We probably see, the thing that maybe breaks my heart the most is when I see kids who are dying to come in here and they're just pulling them down the street saying, no, you might touch something or break something.
Yeah.
Well, here, I mean, most of these things are you can't touch them. They're too high up.
Yep.
So we are a family friendly place. I've worked with children for many years, and so I know how to speak with them and interact with them, and just all those experiences then lead the parents to find the art a bit more accessible.
What kind of advice would you give somebody who's thinking about getting into this kind of career?
Volunteer. Find, if you're looking to be part of the arts, find any arts organization. They're always in need of volunteers, even if it's maybe one day or a few hours every other week. Not necessarily about the actions in which you do, which are great effects for the institution, but being in the environment. There are so many workings of an institution that you get to be around. I did when I was kind of part-time here, because we weren't fully up and running to full-time hours for me. I actually volunteered with the Art Gallery Hamilton and stuffed envelopes, but I got to stuff envelopes in the main office. So I got to hear the languages and the phone calls, watch the logistics of how people interact and different roles that are in the actual institution. So it's not necessarily just your actions of stuffing envelopes, which is a huge help for the institution, but you get to see and meet other people, and those connections turn into other things. And kind of, I would say, also have your hand in a few other pots. So when you are volunteering, maybe have one or two organizations that you're able to dedicate time to. Just keep reading. I mean, it's or it doesn't have to be great lengths of books, but picking up a quick little biography of an artist, or finding an artist you like Donna Pertese, and just reading her stories. I mean, most artists on their websites have a 400-word biography or art statement. It's not a big read, and it's usually not complicated, but adding one or two of those as much as you can really builds up your own knowledge.
Awesome. That's great. Has, would you say COVID has affected the gallery and you and your work quite a
I mean,
bit, or?
it's changed. I mean,
Yeah.
as we're doing this now through technology, I've had to increase my knowledge of technology. I mean, it's always been there. I was trained in animation, so it's not foreign to me, but I've increased it. We, as a gallery, were fortunate in the fact that we were already online. In fact, we've been doing online exhibitions every 2 months for the last 3 years.
That's amazing.
So for us, that wasn't much of a change as much as making sure I had absolutely everything on my personal computer to take home and work from home. The fun part is I've been able to increase some of our content being our blog. So we do have a blog that runs. I try and post something every 2 weeks. It could be everything from Q&A with an artist. So we've been allowing our artists to have a bit more in-depth conversation with the community around us. We also have been doing kind of behind the scenes imagery on even the basics of demystifying how Bob, who owns the gallery, builds a frame. So it's been a lot of fun in those aspects as well.
And how would anyone who doesn't know where you are and like the blog information, how would they find that? Pardon?
So we are on all social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you just type in Earls Court, it will usually come up. You can go to earlscourtart.com and that's our website, and click on the blog there, and it will have all our back postings. Probably one of the most popular back posting is actually about how to hang art. I did a series 2 years ago called Hang In There Wednesday, where every Wednesday on social media I'd post a different way of how to hang art. So those were all combined into one blog post, and a lot of people have used them for their homes or office spaces on how high to hang things.
That sounds like something I could use.
It's helpful. I mean, one of the funniest things is going through housing sales or like real estate postings and seeing the artwork like right here to the ceiling. And you're wondering how tall these people are, because there's this huge space underneath where they should be. And so, I mean, it should be eye level. If you look behind me here, it's actually a horizon. So everything, follow my thumb, runs right through the middle of the paintings. It just makes it a more pleasant experience.
Yeah, and you have the eye for it, so you probably are looking at something saying, let me come and fix that.
Well, I mean, I think with COVID, it's allowed the opportunity for people to really reconsider even the designs of their home or how they're interacting with art in their space. I watched my parents, who like I said, were a little worried about me going to art school, but you know, had confidence that I could figure it out. I watched her house really transform from some of these reproductions that, you know, that they just bought at a home decor center just to match their sofa and didn't really have any connection or passion. And as you add original art or art considered by an actual person and not just a sales team, your interaction with your home and space begins to evolve and wrap around you. A lot of the theories behind collecting art is actually when you go into someone's collection, it's a reflection of who they are, whether it's their soul, mind, or thoughts, or their beliefs.
That's really interesting. Well, I'm going to have to definitely check out the blog and read more about you know, what's going on there in Earls Court Gallery. That's awesome. Well,
or even join our mailing list. I mean, that's the easiest way. Is go to our website, scroll to the bottom, click subscribe, and I'll teach you twice a week.
Well, I'm painting a few walls in here, so I might need some help with the painting. So, is there anything, any other advice, tips that you would give anyone?
I think, I mean, we're always a little afraid to say, I don't know. And so being in this atmosphere, I remember starting within the first year and having historical pieces on the wall. And I mean, 30 different artists on the wall spanning from 1880 right up to 1950, and thinking, oh my goodness, what if someone asked me who this person is, or what
Yeah.
they did, or why a value is contributed to this artist. And realistically, at the end of the day, I've really become comfortable with the phrase "I don't know," and it's not. There's no shame in it. It's more of an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to take the client or the viewer in hand. We have a great research library on site that's actual books. And we dive into the books and find a name that we've never heard of. And sure enough, there they are. And we learn about the biography or the other pieces they might have created, or where the artist might have traveled. So, I mean, I think it applies with any job, really. It's just being comfortable with the, I don't know, and not saying I don't know and leaving it at that, but I don't know, let's try and figure out how to solve this, or
taking an opportunity to learn, basically. Yeah, learn and explore. That's awesome.
All those who think that they know everything.
They don't.
No. I mean, I learn probably 5 or 6 new things every day here. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Andrea, for being part of our series. It was great talking to you, and we'll share your information on our post as well, so that people know where to go for to come by and take a tour and visit the art gallery, because it's a lovely space, and it's kind of a hidden gem in Hamilton. So I think it's
make it a day. I mean, Ottawa Street is such a wonderful street, so you come feed the soul.
There's lots to do. Something for everybody on Ottawa Street.
Do a little shopping. I mean, we got to support the small businesses too. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much for being part of our series, and we'll talk to you soon.
Not a problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
take care, Andrea.
Bye.
Yeah.